Hello, guys. Welcome back. Superfan Remy's back, and her red carpet superfan welcome. So is Shauna. Red carpet superfan welcome to you as well. Superfan Rivers as well. Red carpet welcome. Superfan welcome. Thank you guys for getting straight to liking the live. Thank you guys for getting straight to sharing and reposting the live. As always, that is super important. We need that straight away. That's what helps out the stream. That's what helps out the community at large. So hopefully we can have a much better likes night, especially than last night. Superfan Luna, getting a red carpet superfan welcome. Remy, hello to you too. And thank you for the address there. Absolutely great. I had a feeling that you'd be right on the money, Remy. I certainly did. You were in the Discord, everything. I was like, she's going to be here. She's going to be here straight away. I knew it. Good stuff. Although you've been here every night, which is at the very least incredible. Thank you for sharing the live with more than 10 people, Shauna. Incredible. Incredible. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that very much. There you go. Luna is not playing games. So she'll be able to like. That's good. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's fine either way. It's nice that you'll be able to like, though, tonight. But it is... I mean, at least you were still here, you know. You were still here last night, so that's good. Yeah, how did it go? How did it go? You did the same thing yesterday. So, how did it go? And what was different about today that made it so much better? Hello, Acela. Welcome back. Thank you for liking the live, Shauna and Luna. And Remy. Killing it. Already reached our first K. Okay, so I'm assuming then that yesterday did not have beautiful sunshine or fresh air as much. So that is good that today was extra special in that regard. And Shauna, I'm glad that you saved the details on why your day was horrible and you were having to keep positive and all these things for the stream itself, so that we could all see it. That was very good. Very good. Amazing. So, yeah, no fun getting yelled at and threatened, but when you are in the people service industry and you deal with people all the time, especially some kind of service or medical, you're going to get it. You know, you're going to get it. It's 100% going to happen. And it has nothing to do with you. I think you see people, you see people at their worst, and especially in the medical field. You're meeting people at their absolute most terrible time. So, yeah. Well, again, like I said, just about any service industry job, I've had, never me personally, but at the very least, a coworker have to get the cops involved. The authorities would have to get involved. It's just like so common because you're, again, especially in the medical field, because you're dealing with people at their worst. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before somebody's so upset that they're yelling, screaming, and threatening, and just throwing the worst stuff out there. It's awful. It's awful. people don't see or realize the amount of I don't know, like the fact that you're dealing with people when you go into a a place, or you deal with a person on the other side of a phone. Like, even something as simple as that, they're a real person, they have feelings, they're like actually people that are excited to go home to be with their family, or so and so and so, whatever it might be. People like get disconnected so easy, even in person. So it's wild. Superfan Nita is here, getting her red carpet welcome. Although I am assuming that Nita is going to be here for a minute and then have to leave. Thank you for the heart, me, Nita. Really appreciate that. And thank you for the finger heart times 2, Isella. Yeah, exactly. Crappy walk. That's what it sounded like to me. Because you said today especially was so good. So that's good. Yeah, you always be getting that positivity. You always be getting it, Shauna. Hey, Destiny, what's going on? Welcome back. Shauna, thank you for the 2026 times 25. Appreciate that. Thank you for the mermaid times 10, the feather mask times 1. Incredible, especially the feather mask. That was great. Loved that. I think I said thanks for the heart me already, Nita. But thank you. Thank you for the rose times 1 and 2026 times 1. Nita. And thank you also for the cake slice and the heart puff as well. I hope you all had a great day today, though. Well, my day today, it was pretty good. Pretty good, I would say. I had a good time. Busy as fuck. Got home late. If you were paying attention to the Discord at all. I'm glad you got a lot of cleaning done, Luna. So you didn't have to work today. You kind of used today as a productivity day. That's good, you know. Yes, the proper address, Nita. Thank you. And yeah, I had a good day. I mean, it was good. It was as good as it could be, and it was just a long day, exhausting day, a lot to get done, a lot to do, but finally, I'm here. I've been home for just a couple hours, really, a few hours. So good shit. Ken, well, welcome back. Shauna, thanks for the heart me. I appreciate that very much. One more day of work, then 2 days off. Yeah. Oh my god, fucking A. Tomorrow's Friday. That's crazy, actually. I completely forgot that. I've been hibiscus as usual. Nita, thanks for asking. I totally forgot that. I've been so wrapped up in just being, like, literally just waking up, leaving the house, coming home, having an hour, starting the stream, immediately going to bed, waking up on, and all of this, mind you, is like on 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night. So like the week just flies. It flies by. It's hard to really take a moment. But thankfully tomorrow is Friday. Thank you for reminding me. And now I can at least be happy that I'll get a decent night's sleep after tomorrow. So that will be great. That will be great. Yup, no work. Good, last exam. That's what we want. Sounds very good, Remy. That is a mystical, magical, ethereal night then. I'm glad to hear it. That's incredibly exciting. And a good night. Do you... Never mind. Isella, thank you for the heart me. I really appreciate that. Yeah, exactly, Destiny. We were just talking about that, actually. Well, that's something that I absolutely love to hear. Things get a little rough. You can actually find solace in my music and, you know, gain some positivity from it. Have it affect you in such a way. How beautiful. How absolutely amazing. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for telling me that. Well, the teachers look at it like you will, if you're a good enough, dedicated enough student to any degree, if you have like 2 months off or whatever the fuck it is, I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's like a whole month or something, pretty long. It's the longest vacation of the year, I believe. Other than summer, I suppose, unless you take classes during the summer vacation. Anyways, that you could be studying a little bit here and there, enough to take an exam. But it is evil, because a vacation should be exactly that. It is exactly that. But, of course, just to play devil's advocate, I understand where the teachers are coming from. Like, all right, well, when you come back from this massive break at the end of the week, we're going to have this test. And, of course, they have to have some kind of curriculum that they got to follow. And so they got to sneak that extra one in there. And they try to justify it to themselves by being like, yeah, well, they could have all this time to study. Or at least some of it. I'm really glad that my voice and my music helps you more than I know. And it probably is more than I know. And I'm glad that I've helped you so much. Yeah, I mean, imagine how all of these other community members who have been here for such a long time feel, you know, and I'm very looking forward to you being one of those people that I end up referring to in the future. Because I think anybody and everybody has been in the position that you're in right now, you know, where they're newer, but, you know, it's always cool to, like, think about how, oh yeah, I remember this person when I used to, you know, think of them as new, and now when I refer to one of the newer people, I'm thinking like, wow, yeah, this person's actually like been here forever now. But yeah, I certainly do absolutely care, because again, like, how could I not? Number one, I wouldn't have started even doing what I do with the live stream if I didn't care about my audience and all the fans of my music and everything. The whole stream is predicated on that axiom right there. That's it. That's the hugest thing. And the thing that allows me to continue going and streaming every day, as all, because it used to be where I'd just do it once or twice a week. But what's helped and allowed me to do it as much as I do is you guys finding such value in it that you are able to support the stream. And that's it. Like, that's the biggest reason in general. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't be possible to do what I do with you guys. So, for all of those reasons, from the very beginning to now, yeah, there's no way I couldn't care about you guys so much, because, you know, the whole reason I even started this was on that fundamental basis. So I'm glad that it shows, and you appreciate it very much, because yeah, I really do. I care a lot. Rivers, thank you for the 10K. Really appreciate that. You all are very important to me, is basically what I'm saying. Shauna, thank you for the Feather Mass ×1. Incredible. That's an amazing one. I do love to see that one come through. Yes, indeed, Luna. Tapping. And doing good, because, yeah, 10K is no slouch. Especially, we're not 15 minutes in yet. We're not 15 minutes in yet, but we are already getting hit with 10K likes, so that's amazing. Great news. And you hardcore viewers get a nice little, and I do mean little, because it's gonna have to be a shorter stream because I am so exhausted and tired. Unfortunately, I've felt it since before I got home that like today was different. You know, like normally I have 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I'm pretty tired. I feel it all day, but today is something else. Today is something where my body is like, no, sleep. So I do appreciate that you guys are here. But anyways, my point was, you get a nice little stream, because it is a little stream, but it's also a nice little stream where you get to take advantage, if you choose to, actually get a lot more one-on-one individual time, because we're late, number one. Number two, I could tell, I don't know how and why, but nowadays I can tell when we're going to have not much of the community being able to join. And that's just the case tonight. So for those of you hardcore people that are here and didn't let whatever in the air get to you, that got to others, most others, you get to sort of reap those benefits if you just so decide, if you so choose, because I'm not going to be as distracted tending to others' messages or things like that. However, with less people comes a lot more silence in the stream, so there's no way you could keep up. There's no way you could message me enough to keep me like constantly talking, but yeah, otherwise you'd have to leave. Otherwise you'd have to leave the stream and go back to studying. I don't exactly know what you want me to elaborate on, however, just because, I mean, you just need to find what's best for you. Number one, everybody's skin is different, but you're obviously going to need a cleanser. You're definitely going to need something in the middle, toner, serum of some variety, some kind of active. You want an active ingredient is what that means. And then third step is just moisturizer. Make sure you're moisturizing. Those are the things that you want, really. Well, be a bit more specific with your questions, because like, if I just go and explain science of things, then I'm just like it's just gonna be a whole like college lecture, as opposed to like a specific question that you might have, because I don't know exactly what you're wondering about, because that, it can go a million different ways. But yeah, if you don't really care what steps to use or how to do it, and you're more wondering about the why, then that's fine. That's fine. Just more pointed questions on it is what you're going to want to do. Yeah, exactly, Ken. You did say that earlier, that you had an exam tomorrow, and I appreciate you recapitulating that. But yeah, you would need to leave, and for good reason, because you need to study. It makes sense. It makes absolute sense. I wouldn't expect any less. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't want to give a lecture because that would be, like, a really long speech that I don't have the mental fortitude to undergo tonight. If you want the lecture, then you could wait till a different stream. If you have a specific question, then I could go into that probably, I think. But I don't see myself going too much onto long-winded topics tonight. That's okay, Ken. That's okay. Sometimes the challenge is in finding the right question to ask. Like, that really can be the issue. That can be the hard part. So, I don't blame you. Take your time. Take your time. Otherwise, yeah, like, tomorrow I should be a lot more rested and I can just be like, okay, hear ye, hear ye. Here is your, seminar on the integumentary system and integumentary health and all that. Thank you for the 2026 times 100 and the mermaid times 100, Shauna. I really do appreciate that very much. Superfan Looney is, I did it again. Luna and Lucy. I combined your names. Superfan Lucy is here. Red carpet welcome. What's going on? Welcome back. It's great to see you. I already talked about that, Ken. I said that most people weren't able to be here today because it's kind of a late night, and also I could feel it in the air. But also, it actually hasn't been unusually unactive. The chat's actually been really quite active. I haven't stopped speaking once. I know when it's unactive. I know when it's inactive, I should say. Not unactive, inactive. And fuck, when it's inactive, I'll just sit here and just look at my phone, and I haven't had to do that at all tonight, so I'm very pleased. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Thanks, If. Appreciate that. Thank you for the hand heart, Shauna. Hand hearts right back to you. Much appreciated. I'm doing great, Lucy. Just a long day, exhausting day. God fucking damn. But good day, nonetheless. I'm just dead. Good. I'm glad you're going to get that done, Destiny. You're going to kill it. You're going to do amazing. You're going to do amazing. Yeah, well, Rivers isn't even here at this point, so don't worry. Rivers was here for a couple seconds, and then she dropped off the map. So you're good, Remy. You've been in the chat. I see you. And you've been liking the live. I know you're here, Rivers. I know you're here. But I was talking about the chat. You did. You really did remember to spell thumbs. You did a great job. I'm actually very proud of you for that. Thanks for sharing the live, Destiny. Appreciate that very much. You know what? I'm exhausted from work too. But I'm still here, sitting in front of a camera, hanging out with you guys, doing our thing, making sure I show up for you guys. That's goddamn right. Well, don't feel stupid in a negative way. If you feel stupid in terms of like, haha, that's funny, you know, like that sort of way to read into it, then I really would understand that. And that's no problem. But definitely don't feel stupid. Like anybody misspells things, even spell correct happens a lot of the times too. It happens all the time. There's no reason to actually feel stupid in a negative way. Yeah, Lucy, I really do appreciate that because that's where I was going to go off of, like Shauna said. I mean, you guys always say stuff like that no matter what I wear, no matter what I do, no matter what accoutrements I have on my face or on my wrists or on my fingers or whatever. And so the whole point of that is for me to say, I appreciate, Lucy, that you like what I look like and really think that about me no matter what, because it just seems to be no matter what. And I'm glad that you like my glasses, though, specifically. Yeah, and I talked about it for a couple minutes just then where I said spelling mistake. But Ken probably just wanted to know the exact fucking spelling mistake, I suppose. Very interesting stream development there. You are helping with the likes. Yes, you are. Lucy, thank you for the Go Popular. I appreciate that very much. Straight to it, Lucy. I love it very much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the heart me. Shauna with the feather mask. God damn. Just goddamn. Coming in hot. Thank you, Shauna. The Elven Crown. Now that is a part of my outfit that is probably my favorite right there. That one's probably my favorite. Ah, so you're not paying attention, Ken. Gotcha. Lucy, thank you for the heart me. I already said that, though, but I'm going to thank you again. Because I feel like it. I actually feel like it. And thanks for the Go Popular and Super Popular, Shauna. Thank you very much. Yeah, if I could travel anywhere, and where would it be? And it has to be a place I haven't been to. And probably Mexico. Thank you for the rose ×1, Lucy. I'd probably go there first, though. That's where I want to go first. So, very simple answer to that question. There's multiple places I want to go. I want to go to CDMX first, Lucy, of course. You know. You know where I want to go. You live there, actually. But no, CDMX is number one place I'd go. in Mexico. Now, there's other places that I do want to go in Mexico, but CDMX is, like, right now, currently, probably the place that I would go. It just so like, again, even if this isn't because Lucy's in here or something like that. It's literally, if you would have asked me this 3 days ago when Lucy wasn't here, I would have said the same thing. It's just the facts. And of course, I would go to South Africa. Again, like, that shit, that question's loaded for me because I want to go to every country ever. Like, I want to go to every country. I would like to go everywhere. So it's a loaded question. And when it's asked, it's more in terms of me having to rank order. But I want to go to all of them. So yes is the answer. Simple answer is yes. Yeah, you got that Korean bug, huh? Fair enough. That's a good one. I'd really like to go to North Korea. Because I would really like for them to put the show on for me and constantly monitor me and, like, put the show on where you can only see what they want you to see, and they purposely, like, literally show people that are, make sure they show you past, like, a place with paid actors, actually they're unpaid actors, like, eating food, pretending like they're starving to death, pretending like they're not starving to death, like all that sort of shit. I think that would be so interesting, but most likely, I will never get to go there. And that's part of the reason why I want to go there. Now, again, Korea is the whole North and South combined. I would like to go to South Korea as well, but it's definitely not as interesting as North. To me, in terms of what I am very interested in. Thank you for the dolphin, Lucy. That's all right, Lucy. I'm glad you made it. Good choice, Shauna. Again, I agree because I want to go everywhere. So anywhere you mention is going to be a place where I'm like, yep, I same. Thanks for the heart me, Dana. Have a great day at work, Dana. Thanks for those stickers, Rivers. Love those. That's lame, Ken. I'm just kidding, obviously. I've been through most of the states. It's just the thing is when you actually travel to other countries, you get completely different cultures for the most part. Whereas throughout the U.S., you're going to get relatively the same culture. You might get some different, some slight variations in culture, for sure. Go from the north all the way down to the south. Food changes, the people change, the types of people change, but in most cases, you are getting the same as you've always had. Now, I think it is actually a good idea to travel at least a little bit in the U.S. At first, because it just kind of gets you, well, not in the U.S., I mean in your respective country. Whatever country you live in, you should travel around there a little bit. It gives you your sea legs, and it allows you to kind of get some practice. Get some practice at traveling. And it's a lot more low stakes because you can just go to this, the town or the city next door to you, and boom, you're practicing. But you're still close enough to home. You're still close enough to home. So, nice and low stakes, baby. Nowhere is great right now, folks. I'm just going to break it to you. Okay. Nowhere is great, but it could always be worse. So don't delay on doing things in your life just because things aren't great. Because nothing's ever going to be great. That's most likely just how it's always going to be, because that's life. You know, we're always going to have complaints. Things are always going to be fucking terrible and shitty. But try to think about, you could be somebody in a country where they don't even know how they're going to survive into the next day, or they don't even know where their food is going to come from. They don't even know if they're going to be able to afford food, and if they can, is there going to be any food around for me to buy? You know what I mean? It's easy to forget stuff like that, and I try to do it as much as possible whenever I get too much up into my like first world problem shit. First world problem shit. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Like, oh man, I have so many bills. At least I can eat. You know? Oh man, school is so hard for me. You know, like, okay, at least I get an education. At least I get to have one. You know, and on top of that, at least I get to eat. At least I have a roof over my head. Like, at least I don't live in streets of sewage. You know, like, there's just so many different... I don't live in a completely polluted, poverty-stricken environment that most people would cut off all of their limbs in order to live and swap places with me. Think about that sometimes when things get tough. It's a hard reality, it's a hard truth, but it's so true. It's so true that sometimes it's like, shit, like, this is a first world problem. Everybody has problems, and they all are weighted to whatever we've existed in our whole lives, obviously. It doesn't mean your problems are less just because they're better problems to have. They're still affecting you, just like rich people, super rich people, that you would think have everything, still have massive problems in their life, and you know, they still get just as stressed out by something that would be like nothing to us, because they have everything, but they're still a human that gets stressed about things in their environment that would stress us out if we were in their environment for as long as they were. But still, at the same time, it's nice to think about how good you have it. It is. Thank you for the 2026 times 100, Shauna. Thank you for the Rosa times 1, Lucy. Thank you for the Mermaid times 100, Shauna. I'm glad you love using stickers, Rivers. That's incredible. Bye, Dana. Thank you for the 2026 times 4, Shauna. Thank you for the Feather Mask times 1. So do you, Lucy. Thank you for the Finger Heart times 1, Lucy. Thank you for the Mermaid times 52, Lucy. Not only is it not great right now in Mexico, but it's also not great in the U.S. Ask anybody in the U.S. Most people are like, oh my God, it's not great right now. Ask anybody pretty much anywhere, and they're going to be like, oh man, it sucks. Fuck. And again, like, every country has its own problems, and some are worse than others. But really, would you have rather lived in, you know, I don't know, like when people say that sort of shit, it's like on the U.S. side of things, and in most countries, would you rather have lived, you know, even just 100 years ago? Probably not. Like, most likely not. If you actually had to live and spend every day in 100 years ago's time, it would be 10 times worse for you, especially if you're a woman. Go to any country, and if you are a woman, you would have the hardest time going back 100 years. So again, like, you can think that things are bad for you right now, but perspectively, things are better right now than they ever have been, ever. Ever. And that's just a fact. People live for longer. Let's just even put it right there. There's one thing. But also, governments were a lot worse. Women had no rights. People with certain skin colors, depending on whatever country you were in, had no rights. People were hanged. People had the guillotine put on them. I could go on. There was no electricity. There was the Great Depression in the United States. There was war. There still is now, but there was a lot of war, especially if you go back further and further and further. War all the time. War everywhere. Brutal. And so, yeah, it's a good thing that you do that, Ken, because that's kind of how I feel. If I check myself in those ways, then it's very easy for me to be like, yeah, I actually kind of sound like really ungrateful for the life that I just happen to be lucky enough to be born into, because none of you guys can take credit for where you were born. None of you can take credit for who your parents are. In some cases, that's fucking really good, because your parents are terrible. In other cases, it's like, you want to be like, feel like you had, in your subconscious, like some sort of something to do with that. But all you are is just lucky. You're just lucky you weren't born in war-torn Syria. You know what I mean? Like, you were just lucky that you weren't born in Africa, having to burn rubber all day, inhaling toxic fumes all day, just so that you can get, like, this much scrap metal to sell to the guy down the street that's ripping you off. It's a whole thing. I mean, it's all crazy. It's all crazy. And all you are is lucky. Well, you shouldn't just close yourself off to things, because I didn't say always compare yourself to others. I said that if it gets bad enough, like, understand that you could have it a lot worse. But I also said, because again, very careful about what I say. I feel like I have to do this at least once per stream now. I did not say that people's problems are not problems, because of course you do live in your own little world. You do. So any kind of problems that you have are going to be problems relative to the life that you're living, that you're lucky enough to have been born into. For some people, that massive amount of stress is going to come from, not being able to find food, that evening. How are they going to beg or, do some crazy thing to be able to get food for that evening? But, for you, it just might be, I'm behind on my car payment, something like that. That is just as much stress, most likely, because, again, you can't really perfectly compare things, but that could be just as much stress as the person who's trying to find food. It just can be, because maybe your car's going to get repossessed. Who knows? Now your credit score's tanking. You were going to get a new apartment soon. Like, these are all massive first world problems, of course. And you can't just waltz through your life and say, well, I don't really care because I could have it worse. Like, no, you have to keep both perspectives in mind. So to completely close yourself off to both perspectives is not doing yourself any favors. Improve yourself by incorporating both perspectives into the way that you view things. Because yes, you are supposed to contend with that problem. You have to, and you're supposed to. Otherwise, you will just completely sit in a room and cry every day for all of eternity. But if you contend with both things, understanding that it's not really as bad as it seems in perspective is going to cause you to not have anxiety attacks over how horrible your life is, while at the same time, absolutely 100%, feeling the stress, feeling the feelings, contending with those, dealing with them, and as a result, surmounting that obstacle. But incorporate both. I think you did the exact opposite of stopping doing it. If you're saying you stopped doing what Shauna stopped doing, then once again, advice is for you. Don't stop doing that. That's not making yourself a better person. Definitely try to make yourself a better person. Improve yourself. Don't cut off that other really important perspective to have. Just have a balance, like Shauna said. Definitely do that. But if you're somebody who's feeling very privileged and grateful for what you have, then you've actually done the exact opposite of stopping doing it, to be totally fair. You've done the exact opposite. Because putting those things into perspective in terms of the way other people have things and could have things a lot worse than you is actually doing a gratitude exercise. That's literally all it is a perspective grounding gratitude exercise. That's it. Thank you for liking the live, Luna and Lucy and Shauna. Already at 30K. You guys are actually killing it, you know. It's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. Thanks for liking the live, Destiny, as well, in addition. Very good, though. Very good. Very good. I am very glad that you guys got me on a little something that I could talk about. That helped me wake up a little bit. But, anyways, yeah, in terms of the Koreas, it'd be North Korea for sure. For sure. For that exact reason. Not because I can't, like, that I wouldn't enjoy South Korea, but North Korea is far more interesting to me because it's the Hermit Kingdom. It's 100%, you know, and they, again, like, they literally are the only country that is going to, like, monitor you in a closed group, put on an entire charade for you, and then send you home hoping that you had no idea. Like, that's fucking insane. You get a guided tour of a country, and that's the only tour you can have. That's it. That's all you get. And then you leave. And that guided tour is complete bullshit. Now that's interesting. It's, of course, South Korea, Luna. It is, of course, South Korea. If anything good comes from a Korean country and you are wondering which one it is, and especially if it has anything to do with fine arts, it's South Korea. All day, every day, 100% of the time. Yeah, Luna, you've done great. Orange is my favorite color. It's not my favorite color to wear. It's just my favorite color to look at. And then green, which I do like to wear, is my second favorite color. I do not have a third or a fourth or a fifth or any other favorite color. Yes, I did say that, Ken. Probably didn't hear me again, though. What's your favorite color, Shauna? Okay. I went down a couple messages and boom! We've got Lucy. Sorry, Shauna responding to Lucy. Pink, purple, and blue. Boom. I can actually pick between mine, but I usually can't. When you guys ask me to like rank order things, it's really, really, really difficult to rank order shit. Yeah, Luna, I decided, because you already said Soul like 20 minutes ago, and I fought the urge to correct your spelling on it, and I decided I wasn't going to correct your spelling on it. But I guess I should have, because you were in a thankful mood for that. Today, you were thanking somebody for correcting your spelling. God damn it. I can't win. That's it. From here on forth, I will correct your spelling every time. I love those favorite colors. Lucy! Those are incredible. Shauna's going to make me something. No way. Are you going to make me one of your diamond sculpture, not diamond sculptures, but diamond magnet art pieces? Is that what you're going to do? Maybe. All right, all right. Well, those are pretty cool. Saw a little sneak peek of them tonight in the Discord. Thank you for the Mermaid ×6, Lucy. Thank you very much. Ivy's in her box. But to be fair, she is every night. Literally every night. She doesn't move from that thing. She loves being in there. Well, she does. Because she just follows me around the house all night, and then when it's time to start the stream, I come into this office for the first time in the night, and then she follows me in here, and then she goes straight back to her box. She does love her box. They are pretty sparkly and fun. For sure they are. Incredible stuff. To be honest, I hadn't seen them before. I'm pretty sure, Shauna. So it was pretty cool and pretty interesting to see it, because I hadn't seen it before, actually. Hadn't seen it at all. Thank you so much for the Galaxy Globe, Lucy. Really appreciate you very, very much. She is a good kitty. She is indeed. Oh. My back itched. That doesn't usually happen. Preda, hello. Welcome to the stream. Rivers is thinking about doing a painting with my logo. That'd be incredible. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And yes, I always say this. I'm always waiting to get cool stuff from you guys. In the past, before most of you had joined the stream, the community used to send me things all the time, cool things from their country, or just cool gifts that they think I might like, and then I would always display them on the shelf behind me, the whole thing, and that was really cool. So, Shauna, that sounds great. That sounds great. And once again, just to repeat myself, Lucy, thank you so much for that. You are amazing. Of course I made my logo. And if it wasn't me, I wouldn't just have somebody in my community throw together a logo. My logo is literally my tattoos. I mean, are you asking if I like dumped some work on a community member and be like, hey, graphic design my tattoos onto this logo? No. And if I was going to, I would have paid a graphic designer to do it, but no. I did. I did actually do it myself in that case. Thank you for the goat, and I love you so much, Lucy. I love you too so much. And Shauna, thank you for the drums. That's a sick one. You never sent that one before. Come on. One of my favorite instruments, goddammit. I forgot to turn my volume down. Goddamn. One of my favorite instruments, goddammit. I forgot to turn my volume down. Goddamn. Hold on. Not all the way down, but somewhat down. Somewhat down. I'm trying to count them, Lucy. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you for the 6 feather mask, Lucy. I really appreciate that so very much. No, I would never like use fan art as my official logos or anything like that. Not only is that someone else's like intellectual property, but my logo was like people that make my logo now make it as fan art because it's my logo that was created out of the tattoos that describe me most as a person. But there had to be an incipience. There had to be a prime mover, and that is going to, of course, be the original. Yeah, and so I've had plenty of you guys do fan art, many of you guys, and it's all been so beautiful, but I just wouldn't use it as like that sort of stuff, especially since like you guys created it, and now I'm not going to benefit off of it like that. I just wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and that's not the way that you treat people that do fan art, unless they are literally begging you to do that, in which case I probably still wouldn't do it. But it would be different in that case, of course. It would be. Thank you for the singing mic, Lucy. So we got drums and then the singing mic. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And thank you for the mermaid times 300, Shauna, and the finger heart times 20. Finger hearts right back to you. Appreciate you so very much. She is killing it with the mermaids, because I actually put mermaids on the gift goal tonight. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy? But I did. I think I did, right? I did. And with the help of Lucy, with the help of Shauna, got us all the way smack dab on our feather mask. Incredible work on that, guys. And now we are 500 out of 1,500 on the mermaids and 400 out of 2026 on the 2026s. Amazing. Shauna, thank you for the 2026 times 100. Mermaids are part of the goals tonight. I just had to do it. You guys sent them over. Used some mermaids for your stream support the other night, and I was like, that's so cool. Thank you, Luna. I'm glad you like them. I am glad to hear that. Always love to hear that. Thank you for the 2026 times 100, Shauna. Yes, the teacher indeed. You are wrong, Romy. You are just wrong. Incorrecto. Shauna's killing it with the gifts. And guess what, Lucy? That's rich coming from you, who is also killing it with the gifts. Somebody needs to recognize Lucy too, and that's going to be me. Somebody also is going to need to recognize Shauna. That's going to be me. You both deserve that recognition. You're killing it with the gifts. Absolutely amazing. My beautiful stream supporters that make this shit happen. Why are you wrong? Well, if you would look at Ken's message, you would see why. Because again, yeah, like, Ken, you've been in the stream. You're one of the newest members of the community, right? And you've heard me say this exact sentence so many times. That's actually exactly what I say to everyone. And you guys, especially those of you guys that are way more veteran than Ken, you see that and you're like, yep, that's exactly what Jackson says. I know you know what I say. I've got videos explaining them more in depth. I tell you all about them, what they mean. And I also, it also is a lot easier to see them on my TikTok page and all my social medias. You're very welcome, Romy. And, yeah, thank you, Ken. You're probably most curious about it because it's the one that you haven't seen, right? Not seen like seen it, but seen as in learned about it, right? I haven't done it yet because it's not done yet. It's not finished yet. Once I finish it, I'll probably do one though, based on it. Greetings to you too, Romy. Thank you for being here. It's great to have you. Thank you for the likes on the stream, Shauna. And Rivers, too. I see you. We're almost at 50K. And Lucy, you too. God damn. Shauna, you basically... I mean, you've been ripping on the mermaids and the 2026s. We're almost at 720... We're almost at 700 mermaids and... What, 500 even on the 2026s? Incredible. Incredible. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you can also wait for us to hit our superfan goal again. And once that happens, I will just straight up explain it. But it will be nice to finally have it immortalized in the video and also be able to have it shown in the video in its like final form, its final state. Thank you, Rivers, and thank you, Shauna. Much love to you too. Damn. Lucy is back with her great questions. I love those. I do love those. I'm very partial to those Lucy questions. I love all of your questions, but if you understand and know, like, Lucy's tenure in the stream, you know what I'm saying. Lucy's just always come in hot with the good-ass questions all the time. And especially when we were in times where not a lot of people had them. So, that's a hard question to answer. I think, I don't know exactly. Most people that I know from Mexico live in or around CDMX. Also, just in general, really seeing the city of Mexico. It's like going to America and not visiting New York or something like that. You know how like most people want to visit New York? It's a good starting point, or Los Angeles or whatever the fuck. There's that part of it. That's not the reason, but that's part of it, of course. A lot of the things I know about and have seen and, looked into are just there. A lot of the universities, a lot of all the, a lot of the cool buildings, a lot of nice towns surround it. It's one of the more modern places. Just a bunch of things. Just a bunch of things. Yeah, you can have shit like that where you don't have any meaning to the tattoo. That's your personal preference. And I always say this. You're too new to have heard me say this, but if you get a tattoo that has no meaning, quote unquote, and you say, no, I don't really have any meaning. I just like it because it looks cool. I thought it looked beautiful. I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked amazing. Guess what? Implicit in that statement is a reasoning as to why you got the tattoo. That is important to you. That is a meaning. And it's important to you. So yes, Remy, all tattoos have meaning. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at here. So even people that are like, oh, they have to have meaning, or like, should my tattoos have meaning? Or, stuff like that. The meaning can be that it just looked beautiful. I liked it. It gave me the same feeling when I looked at when I went to the art gallery and I saw this incredibly powerful piece of art. It didn't have to like symbolize my, fear of death, some philosophical, crazy meaning. It just had to give me that profound feeling of awe, or some level of that feeling of like, this is beautiful. That's a meaning. You're good. So don't overthink it too much, Ken. But definitely whatever meaning, whatever type of meaning is important to you, go for it. Get it. Absolutely. If meaning to you means the more colloquial term of tattoos having meaning, then you would tie it into some kind of deeper meaning. But if you don't, or if you just think that you should, again, don't overthink it. Or if your next tattoo doesn't have meaning, just rest assured that it does have meaning in some kind of way. It does. Because it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter even if it's what you think is the least meaningful thing. It's still. Thank you for the beautiful stickers, Rivers. And hello, Zoe. Thank you for those beautiful stickers, Lucy. That's awesome, Remy. Oh, she was talking to Shauna, though. My bad. That's very nice that your brother does them, though. That works out nicely. And also, yeah, if you don't want to scar him, then that might be... I mean, he's professional enough. It's not like he's getting any kind of pleasure from, like, staring at a sternum or the surrounding, anatomical bodies that surround its perimeter, but... because he's a professional. He's a professional tattoo artist, but it's just, I think it just spares you the awkwardness, because he's your brother, and still, nonetheless, even though he's a professional, and it's not like it's gonna scar him for life. A body is a body, is a body, but it's just awkward. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see your siblings, whatever, whatever. Even though you're a professional and this has nothing to do with like anything else but getting a tattoo, of course. Completely platonic, but that's awesome, Remy. I'm glad to hear that. That'll be a very cool one. I hope your vision board's going great, Zoe. I guess it isn't, but I hope that it is. I'm doing well, though, Zoe. How are you? That's pretty cool. Look at that. Tattoo Talk, Fireside Chat, Tattoo Talk, and we've got designing my next tattoo tonight. Beautiful. You're very welcome, Ken. I got you. I got you. You know I do. You know what, Shauna? That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense to me. Because you were just doing sea turtles tonight. Like that diamond art that you were doing, that was actually a sea turtle, I believe. So it seems like you like sea turtles. So it makes sense to me why you'd want to get one. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. My aunt specifically loves turtles, and her first and only tattoo actually was of a turtle. So I don't know why that made me think of it, but it did. Because I was just thinking, like, who else likes turtles? Huh. My aunt does. You are keeping the stream on specifically because you're falling asleep. Well, that's great, Rivers. That's great, great, great. Lucy, thank you for liking the live. Hopefully you heard me explain my bad reasonings as to why CDMX was my choice specifically. That's one of those questions that I really like the question, but it's hard for me to actually answer. It's hard for me to actually like give you specifics. It's just a feeling that I have. It's just a want that I want. And there are silly reasonings to it that you might find silly, but they're important to me anyway. And I'm glad that you did end up hearing them. That's good. And you said oh, well, fuck. Okay. Cause I was going to say, I almost actually just didn't even say that and went back up to see if I missed something. But, okay. Thank you for sending it again. Thank you for sending it again because it'd be hard to find it too. So I appreciate that. Yes. Yes. Those would be amazing. I would have to check them out too. I'll check them out. I'll search them up. Because yeah, like especially with Mexico, the history gets me big time. The history gets me big time. There's some serious ancient civilization things to see there. So it's, that's a huge part of it for me too. The ancient structures and all of that stuff, they seem really, really cool. I mean, they are really, really cool, and that's like exactly one of the things that I'd really like to see. Would be one of those, or all of those things, if even possible. Yeah, Mall of America. That is supposed to be the biggest or largest mall in the country, right? Is that the whole premise of why that is such a big deal? I'm assuming it is, right? It is, okay. I've been to some very large malls, but not, obviously not the largest one in the country. So if the point being is if the malls that I visited and saw and went to were not nearly as big as the Mall of America, then I would be amazed, Yeah, I mean, it's understandable being a little scared of birds, I guess. Um, it's easy to be kind of freaked out by non mammals because we just don't recognize ourselves in them at all. You know, that's just part of being human is like recognizing mammalian characteristics, you know? So, really, at a bottom up level, there's every reason to kind of be off put by non mammalian species. But I think avians are beautiful. Um, and owls are definitely beautiful too. They're wild. They're wild creatures. They're so interesting. They're so interesting. But I don't blame you for being like weirded out by them. Again, I think it's kind of fairly normal. Um, whoops. An entire theme park. Wow, that's quite something. That sounds amazing, Lucy. That does sound amazing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Uh, well, I prefer open spaces too, but I'll go to a mall just to like shop or see it. Cause like malls are pretty interesting, um, architecturally, and they make it easy for you to shop at a lot of different places at once without actually leaving the premises. But in terms of like where I prefer to be in general everyday life, I would say yeah, not malls, of course, but you know, there's a time and a place for malls, right? And when you go into a mall too, when you go into like one of the big department stores, they're huge. You got plenty of space to be Lucy and enjoying open space because there are open spaces in malls. And can you imagine, Lucy, the largest mall in America? It's the largest mall in America. There's got to be some open space. You know what I'm saying? Granted, again, yes, I know. It's not outdoors. It's not outside. It's not the beautiful wide open pastures. But it's not a bucolic pastoral, you know, landscape over here, but it certainly is in terms of an edifice, it is a probably very wide open place. And now look at that. Shauna agrees. There we go. Shauna seconds that. Alina, thank you for the rose times 30 and thank you for the rose times 70. Look at that, Alina. 100 roses right off the bat. Welcome back, Alina. Let's go. Luna is obsessed with crows, ravens, magpies, and owls. But yeah, Lucy, if I didn't already say this in response to that, I also wanted to say, obviously, I prefer wide open spaces too. That's why, you know, it's funny that that's like the first place I want to visit because I really actually do prefer non-cities and things like that. But it would make perfect sense as to the fact that they have the biggest mall of Latin America. Like it definitely does. It makes perfect sense, obviously. That's what I'm saying though. Like that was one of the biggest reasons why I was saying like that was one of the reasons why I was saying I'd like to go is because like the architecture there is going to be, you know, some of you know Mexico's peak architecture of the modern era. That's the flagship city, so to speak, you know. So yeah, definitely, but a mall is still an enclosed space. But yeah, that would be the reason why I would go to Minnesota anyway. It would be actually for the nature, the landscapes, the mountains, the plains, all of the things that are characteristic of Minnesota in its untouched sort of natural form. And I'd also just like to see what like small town Minnesota looks like, things like that. But I'm more interested in that sort of stuff. I'm more interested in that sort of stuff. I'm interested in how a culture of a place actually is. I am interested what like everyday life is like, and so I am just very much the opposite of, yes, there's got to be some places that you have to go see. No matter where you go, there's always those places that you've just got to see it. You got to, or you're just dumb. But just kidding, obviously. But for the most part, like, I am just the most non-tourist person that ever was, because I am averse to them. Like, I am averse to, touristic situations. I don't want to have to just like walk around and be like, oh yeah, here's that and here's that now. And I'm not talking about being on a tour. Like, yes, there's being a tourist, and then there's being a tourist that just does nothing but like guided tours. I'm talking about being a tourist even that doesn't go on guided tours. You're still just like walking around to like the fancy little spots that have so much history behind them. And while there is a place for those things, that's not actually giving you a taste of what life in that place really looks like, feels like, and is like in general. And I think that's where you're going to get the most enjoyment from, truly, for a multitude of reasons. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Shauna. That sort of stuff. And Lucy's the same. She gets it. And you're very welcome, Lucy. I do very much appreciate it. I do. Yeah. And also, like, one of the no-brainer reasons that I don't know how I forgot, probably just because I'm so exhausted, but one of the biggest no-brainer reasons is because so many, as I always say, like, so many supporters of my music are from Mexico, and a lot of them are in CDMX, and also not even just supporters of my music, but people that just watch the stream and, haven't even heard of my music, or just haven't heard of it yet. There's so many different reasons, but just a lot of my audience in general, no matter what that audience is, they kind of originate from there and around there if they're in Mexico. So that's another reason. Now, obviously, there's a reason for that, right? Because it's a big city, obviously. That's what I said, Ken. There's absolutely still a place for doing some tourist things, because obviously there are some things that you should see, but I find myself I find myself having to reiterate myself with everything you say, Ken, because I was saying that, yeah, like I said exactly that. And that's amazing, Lucy. That's what I'm freaking talking about right there, baby. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I didn't say Taurus, the astrological sign, no. But that's cool that you are one. We've surpassed 50K. That's incredible work. So we're at 62. That's pretty impressive, folks. I'm liking that. I'm glad that you would still go to some of the touristic areas, Ken, because, like I already said, it's something that you should do. Like, there are some really important things that you just should see, especially if they're easy to do. But that should not be the bulk of your experience, and that should not be the only experiences you're having. And honestly, 90% of it should not be those things. If it just doesn't, it's not up to me, because these things are up to interpretation. We're not talking about scientific fact here, like I do so often. When we're talking about like a topic like this, for instance, it's actually just really important to follow what you want, So I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't really love the touristy stuff. I don't like going to resorts. I don't like doing, just the whole tourist trap, bullshit. I like embroiling myself in the culture and the true life and the true places and the smaller places as well. But if what you want is to travel to another country and kind of sit in a resort behind a walled garden where you never actually meet any people from the country that you're in, you kind of just sit in this like gated off area with other tourists. That's cool too. Some people love that. And if that's what you want to do and you would absolutely hate like actually doing the things that I said I would want to do, then please do what you want to do. Or if you're the person in the middle where you don't want to go to a resort, you don't want to like stay in a resort, be behind the walled garden, but you just kind of want to be like, whenever you leave the hotel room or the Airbnb, you want to go and visit only the scenic, touristic places that you want to go to. That's fine too. It's whatever works for you, especially in this case. This is not anything where we're talking about science at all. So that's great that you actually would 100% agree with everything I said, Ken, because inherently you actually agreed with everything I said there. But even if you didn't, that'd be perfectly fine, because this isn't, we're not debating facts here at all. We're just speaking about my opinions on what I would do in a certain situation. Hey Casey, hey Jade. Why is that? Why do you want motels to make a comeback? It's an interesting statement. That's awesome you did that too, Destiny. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool stuff, actually. All right, 1 second. All right. Lucy's going to Betty. Bye. And so am I. Thank you so much for the mermaid times 32, Shauna. Thank you for the good night, Lucy. And thank you for all of these 2026s you have coming through right now, Shauna. Lucy and Shauna, thank you as always for being two of our biggest top supporters in the stream. I really appreciate you guys very much. Again, the community has you guys to thank for the reason that I'm able to be here. And I have you to thank as well. So very much love to you. Number 2, good night to you as well, Lucy. So much love to you. So much. Thank you for the hand hearts, Lucy. Hand hearts right back to you. Hostels are even better, Ken. Hostels. Nice and cheap. Communal living. Infrastructure as well. Motels, indeed, more infrastructure. Yeah, okay. That's cool. I mean, I just wanted to hear your reasoning on that, so that's interesting. I like even numbers as well. Good night to you too, Destiny. Thank you for the proper address. Really appreciate you. Thank you for the proper address as well, Luna. good night to all of you. You are amazing, all of you. Thank you for the proper address, Shauna. So much love to you as well. Casey, I said hello to you before, but hello again. And thank you for that also, Luna. So, yes. And anyways, like I said, to... What did I think I said much love to you too, Lucy. And good night to you, Remy. I didn't see that before. 200 2026s from Shauna. Thank you so much for that. Oh. I don't know if practical is the right word, but I get what you're trying to say. Thank you. I'll tell you what. I'm going to sleep real fucking good. I'm going to sleep so good, it's not even going to be funny how good I'm going to sleep tonight. But thank you guys for, still a great stream. Even though I was so exhausted tonight, just incredibly exhausted. It sucked how exhausted I was, because I really always love and want to give you guys just my 100%. But today it was impossible for me to be my normal, relatively sharp self. Normally, even on 5 hours of sleep, I can be relatively sharp, but tonight I'm so exhausted. So I love you all very much. And I appreciate you all very much. Thanks, Ken. Good night to you too, Zoe. Much love to you all. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. And goodbye.